Well, my Hotep brothers and sisters, welcome to another Sunday online NJIA Fellowship of the African Village and Cultural Center. I'm Ray Hagins, the teacher, chief elder of the African Village, and your brother and your friend. And we're going to get right into our fellowship today by opening up with our song One More Time. One more time, God allowed us to come together one more time. All right, come on, lift your voice with me, everybody. Sing it like you mean it. Come on, everybody. One more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. One more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. One more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together. God allowed us, yeah, to come together to praise God's name, just to praise His name. God allowed us to come together to praise His name, to praise her name, to praise her name. God allowed us to come together, praise it. God allowed us, yeah, to sing our song, just to sing our song. God allowed us to come together to sing our song, to sing our song, to sing our song. God allowed us to come together. God allowed us, yeah, to come together. Now let's put those hands together to clap our hands, everybody. To clap our hands. God allowed us to come together to clap our hands. To clap our hands. Clap our hands. Oh, God allowed us to come together. God allowed us, yeah. Everybody say one more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. One more time. One more time. Oh, God allowed us. God allowed us, yeah. Come together one more time. God allowed us, yeah. Just to praise His name. God allowed us, yeah. Been so good and kind. God allowed us, yeah, yeah. Oh, yes, He did. God allowed us, yeah. God allowed us to come together one more. Yeah, whoa, one more time. God allowed us to come together one more time, brothers and sisters. We're going to continue by going right into the oath to our ancestors, and then we'll have our preliminary remarks thereafter. Let's honor those who have made the sacrifice so that you and I could be where we are today. All right, through their life, deeds, and legacy. Join me now as we say, oh, ancestors, blacker than 1,000 midnights, African ancestors, it is to you that we, your children, give respect and honor. Oh, ancestors, we call upon you and welcome you in this place. African ancestors, let your presence fill this place. O ancestors, who have been purposely excluded from the history books, so that the world would not know of your greatness. Our African ancestors, who gave civilization to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave the arts to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave music to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave the sciences to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave mathematics to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave medicine to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave literature to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave philosophy to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave consciousness to the world. Oh, ancestors, we thank you for devoting your life to make a future for us, your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Now stand with us, strengthen us, guide us, teach us, and protect us from the snare of our enemies. Rise up, O African ancestors, and let our enemies be scattered. Oh, my goodness, and the boldness to deal with our oppressors and those who would hinder the liberation and empowerment of our people. Rise up, O African ancestors, and live in us. And we will not fail to honor you. We will not fail to respect you. We will not fail to hear you. And we will not betray you. Ashe, Yevo.
And now, brothers and sisters, we want to take the time to honor just a few of the great Africans who have gone ahead of us.
Yes.
We call forth their great African names and honor them to pharaohs Narmer, Zoja, Sneferu, Khufu, Khafre, Menkaure, and the great vizier and physician and multi-genius Imhotep. We say Ashe. To Queen Nitocris, Queen Sobek Neferu, Queen Ahotep, Queen Amos Nefertari, Queen King Hatshepsut, Nefertiti, Queen T, and Queen Nefertari II. We say Ashe. To Menkepen Tahuti Mays, known as Thutmose III, Amenhotep III, Akhenaten, Tutankhamun, Ursula Atra, Setepenra, Rametsu Meriamun, Ramses II, Shabaka Taharka Hannibal, and the great African warrior Shaka Zulu. We say Ashe. To all of the kings, queens, priests, and warriors of Nubia, Waset, Ethiopia, Kemet, Kenya, the Congo, Tanzania, Uganda, Central, South, and West Alkibu land, we say Ashe. To the more than 600 million Africans whose lives were lost in the European invasions of Africa and in the Middle Passage, we say Ashe. To the more than 300 million who have since lost their lives to racism and hate crimes, we say Ashe. To Harriet Tubman, Ashe. Frederick Douglass, Ashe. Mary McLeod Bethune, Ashe. Nat Turner, Ashe. Fannie Lou Hamer, Ashe. Sojourner Truth, Ashe. Carter G. Woodson, Ashe. Booker T. Washington, Ashe. Dr. Charles Drew, Ashe. Noble Drew Ali, Ashe. Benjamin Banneker, Ashe. George Washington Carver, Ashe. Bishop Richard Allen, Ashe. Bishop Charles Harrison Mason, Ashe. Howard Thurman, Ashe. Mother Mahalia Jackson, Ashe. The Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Ashe. Benjamin E. Mays, Ashe. Langston Hughes, Ashe. Medgar Evers, Ashe. Paul Robeson, Ashe. Dr. Martin Luther King, Ashe. Malcolm X, Ashe.
Dr.
Thurgood Marshall, Mother Clara Hale,
Ashe. Dr. Asa Hilliard,
the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. John G. Jackson, Dr. Shikanta Diaz, Dr. Chancellor Williams, Dr. George G.M. James, Patrice Lumumba, Kwame
Wright,
Ture, Kwame Nkrumah, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Jacob Carruthers, Dr. Ishaka Musa Badashando, Brother Ray Charles, our mothers and fathers, our grandmothers and grandfathers, our great-grandmothers and great-grandfathers, our brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, aunts and uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, and all those who have gone ahead of us and have made their ancestral transition to their life, deeds, legacy, and contributions. We say Ashe. Again we say Ashe. Again we say Ashe.
Oh brothers, sisters, it's such a wonderful thing, man, when we take the time to honor those who have gone before us. Okay, we are our ancestors and they are us. The ancient African proverb says, as long as you call forth their names, they will continue to live. And so that's why we do this every week. Just for the sake of clarity, there are people who say, y'all pray to the ancestors. No, you got it twisted. You got it wrong. We don't pray to the ancestors. We honor their life, their deeds, their contributions, and their memory. We honor them. We pay homage to our ancestors. We only pray to the Most High God, okay? Because only God can answer our prayers, all right? But we do honor, we venerate our ancestors, and hey, man, we don't do anything without honoring the Most High and our ancestors, because I've learned that before embarking upon any great or laudable undertaking, you must always implore the blessings of the deity and our ancestors. So that's why we start our services off every time we gather in the African village. We do that. We do the oath to the ancestors. Once again, brothers and sisters, I'd like to say welcome to those of you who are with us today. I'm so honored, man. You guys are just wonderful. I tell you, because when I as soon as I turn on my computer, before I even go live, I see y'all in the chat room, waiting for us to come on. And that makes me feel so good, to know that you are anxiously awaiting for our fellowship. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Listen, that gives me life. That fuels me. You understand? We have very special guests coming on today, but before I bring my guest on, just want to lay some ground rules, okay? And that is this. Brothers and sisters, it's so important for you to understand, all right, that this is a learning center. That's what this is, okay? Now, follow what I'm saying, okay? I'm not here to preach to y'all, okay? Those days are over for me. I don't preach anymore. I teach now. Understand that, okay? If you don't agree with what I'm teaching, that's fine with me, okay? You don't have to. I understand that the truth is not for everybody. Truth is for those who seek it. All right? Understand that. I'm saying this because of some of the comments that I received on this week and some of the comments that were posted on last week. Okay. Brothers and sisters, if you're in the chat room, you're not here to try to give a lecture with your comments. Okay. It's distracting, it takes away from the room. Understand what I'm saying. Okay. There's an old adage that says, how can you learn if you're so busy talking? All right. So those of you who want to just use my platform to try to voice your intellect, I'm going to be nice, okay? To voice your intellect, whether it's a little bit or a lot. Okay, this is not the place for that. You get your own YouTube channel, get your own Facebook page, get your own platform, and you do that, okay? Don't try to come to my house and do that. I want you to respect the room just like you would respect if you walk into a learning center, a classroom, or a church, or a synagogue, or a mosque. Okay, you would not go in there and try to take over the atmosphere with your comments. You'd be put out. Well, same thing here. Okay, once I see that you're trying to distract or state your opinion, and this is another thing. It blows my mind how when I say something, a person may disagree with it, okay? And as much as you hear me say, don't take my word for what I say, go do the research, you immediately respond, or I should say, you react to what I'm saying, which says you didn't go do the research. Okay, you didn't even go try to validate or verify what I said. What I said contradicted what's in your mind, and you decided to refute it. Not on my platform. You don't do that. Okay, you are entitled to go do the research. If you see that I am in error after you research what I've said, okay, then communicate with me and I'll check it out. And if I see if I'm wrong, then I'll rescind what I said. But brothers and sisters, I don't say anything unless I have thoroughly researched it first. Understand that. I'm a teacher. Okay. I don't come to my class unprepared. I just don't. So please respect the room so I don't have to block you. All right. Understand that. Please respect the room and respect those who are in the room who are here to learn. Okay. They're not here to read your discourse and your comments, they're here to learn. All right. Before bringing my guest on, I want to do this as I always do every week. Okay. Let's bring this up here so that you'll get it clear. All right. The space inside this circle, I want you to keep in mind as we talk about this today, right? The space inside this circle represents my realm of knowledge. There's a reason why I put this here, family. Okay. All that you think you know about whatever you think you know is depicted right here inside this circle. But you must keep in mind, okay, is that there is more to know than what is within the circumference of your awareness. Please remember that, all right? It'll keep you from getting blocked, okay? Removed and blocked. So remember that. If I say something that's outside of your circumference of awareness, make note of it. It may hit you like a brick, but make note of it. Don't try to contradict or refute what I'm saying on my class. Don't that's not wise at all. In fact, you just display your ignorance when you do that. All right. Also, I want you guys to remember this as well. What is my objective? And I want you guys to remember this, especially in light of today's discussion, because our topic today is in the position for the mission. All right. I'm clear on what my mission is. I say it to you guys every week. Here's my personal mission statement. All right. My mission is to begin the process of undoing and reversing ideas and concepts that's been programmed into the minds of our people, okay, through religious statements and church doctrines that have caused us to adopt a cognitive reality or a belief system that has caused us to lose contact with what is real. It's caused us to lose contact with what is factual. It has caused us to lose contact with what is historical. And most of all, it has caused us to lose contact with what is spiritual. So my mission is to reverse all that stuff. You understand? Okay, that's why I say things that are outside of your circumference of awareness. If I'm only speaking from within the parameters of what you know, then I'm not reversing anything. All right? I'm just preaching. I have to teach you. That's my job as a teacher. All right. Also, brothers and sisters, I want to share also something else before getting into our discussion with our guest today. And that is, I want to promote a business today. Is that where I'm at? Okay, I say that. Let me go here. Okay, and talk about my brother up there in Ontario, Canada. All right, Elder Mansa Musa up there. Okay, this is his business. Okay, enlarge your screen, brothers and sisters, and you can see this even better. All right, if there's a little square down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen there, just go ahead and click that. It should enlarge your screen so you can read it a lot easier. All right, he has a business there I was about to say Ontario, right? Am I saying that right? Ontario, Canada, and Scarborough. Delight House Religious Supplies. As you see, he said they carry the largest selection of religious oils, powders, incense, soap, sprays, bath wash, floor wash, guards, and also not only that, he is an elder. Okay, my brother there does spiritual counseling, so he does in-person and online spiritual counseling. Okay, so reach out to the brother if you are going through something, you need help. Okay, he's our brother up there in Canada. Okay, to minister to the needs of our people there on a local level as well. All right, so remember that. Okay, go ahead and support our brother. Of course, the website for his let me see if I can bring that up right quick and put it on the screen. The website for his let's see, what did I do with today? Okay, I think this is it. Okay, you see it there. Okay, hope I'm trying to learn how to do all this stuff, y'all. Okay, you see his website there is Tekadis MP, TEKADISN as in November, P as in Papa.com. Okay, just feel free to go to their website, okay, and connect with them there. All right, please feel free to do that. All right, and I'm doing this today because I want to start promoting Black owned businesses. All right, he didn't ask me to do this. It's something I'm just taking upon myself to do. All right. Also, I want to share and promote another business today as well, and that is a restaurant there in Charleston, South Carolina. Let me put that on the screen. It's called Crepes Palace. All right. And I'll bring my guest on, Pastor Edwin, the chef, Wright. I'm gonna let him talk about this place because he knows firsthand about Crepes Palace there in Charleston, South Carolina. He did a thing a few weeks ago, talking about the restaurant. The food looked so good, I wanted to jump into the screen and partake of the meal, but I couldn't, of course, do that. So I'm gonna have to go to Charleston and do that. But now, since I'm talking about that, let me bring my brother on. Okay, yeah, let me bring him on at this time. All right, brother Wright, what's going on, man?
Blessings, man. Blessings. I'm laughing because you. Oh my, the great palace. Blessings, man. It's an honor to be with you.
Always good to have you, man. Always good to have you, brother. It's been a minute.
Yes,
You
yes,
know?
it has. Yes, it has.
Yeah.
But I was out getting some bandage because the last few weeks you've been beating us up. so so I went to get some bandage and garnish so I can put on to stop the bleeding, But
Oh, brother, I'm just trying to do my assignment. That's all.
yeah. The Crate Palace is a restaurant here in Charleston, South Carolina. They're friends of mine. I recently just met them. The phenomenal thing about them is their history. The chef is actually from Jamaica, and the partner, his wife, she's from another part of the country, Ghana, I think is where she's from, and they kind of met together, collaborated, and what they do is it's called Crepes Palace, and the unique thing about it is when he's chef, on your plate is food that's for us from every culture of our country.
Okay.
And it's called clean eating. It's called clean eating. Nothing is cooked with salt and artificial garlics. Everything in there that he cooks, that he prepares, is prepared with the authentic garlic, real garlic. It's prepared with real thymes and rosemary, and he says it's the process. And
Natural
so
seasonings.
what
Yes.
what you saw, I think, because I posted a couple of things. I think one day I had what was called oxtails,
Okay.
and so there are many things that they have on the restaurant. What you will notice is it does not have the how would I say, overindulgence of salt and pepper and those type things, but it has such a delicious, authentic taste to it. So when you come, Doc, you and I got to go over there.
Oh, we going. we going. And brothers, I'm gonna put their website back up so you guys can go to their website and see their menu.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
The website is there, as you see at the bottom of the page. Just go there and peruse their menu. And anyone there in the South Carolina area, please go there and let them know that the chef and Dr. Ray told you to go buy them.
Yes.
Okay.
It's phenomenal. You would never think the things that go together goes together. It's kind of like what you do, on here. You wouldn't imagine in your finite mind that those things fit,
I got you.
But it really does. Like when a lot of people say, don't eat this, a lot of times it's how you cook it, how you prepare it. And so that's what he does. I mean, he cooks this. I mean, phenomenal. Matter of fact, he has a red snapper that was featured.
Oh no, you did not say red snapper.
Yeah, man, it's featured on Good Morning America. He is featured on Good Morning America. It's in the cookbook. If you look up red snapper, his name will pop up. He was the chef for homeboy Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes would not eat unless Chef Vernon actually cooked for him.
Wow.
And for those, and I'll say this and then we'll get going. For those that are vegan, he has an excellent vegan menu that will blow your mind. I'm trying to tell you, for folks that say, "Oh, I don't eat meat." Listen, this brother is phenomenal. He's down to earth. He studied and loved what he does. He looks at every plate. His hands is on every plate before it comes from out of the back. And there were people last night there because I stopped by to talk to them last night, ended up eating. And because when they see me come in, the relationship is like that. And so him and his wife is they're from California, LA. They're from LA. Okay. And they said that the lobster, they have a lobster thing there that he does. I mean, I don't even know the names of these things, but everything again is cooked with the profession of him, really just looking at it, studying it, and putting it together. I mean, that's just what he does, man. And so,
man, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I told them about you, and they were like, "Oh man, we honored to have him." I said, "Well, you got to have him."
Listen, man. Like I said, when I saw your plate last time, I wanted to get on the road then, man.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
My goodness, yeah.
It's an honor to see you, Doc. I love being in your presence. I thank you for sharing the platform with us. I often tell people, you're a teacher. I'm a messenger. I'm a messenger. I hope people will identify the difference. A messenger is someone who spends meditating time, and they don't live off the land. They live off the fresh cut meat. In other words, things download that will blow your mind that you would think that is not common. And so I say that because when I talk today, it will be things that the Most High sent through the ancestors that gave to this generation, to me, to give to people.
I hear you, brother.
And so that's why it's like that. And one of the reasons why, and before we get into the topic today, as I got up this morning, there were 3 things that he wanted me to leave with them today, so that they can start studying that when I come back, or start preparing their minds to hear. Okay. One is not, and I want them to take a note of this. One of them is when you can't have what you want, you will get what you can.
There you go, see?
Yeah, when you can't have what you want, you will get what you can. And for years, Africans has been the I can. Oh. Everybody taking advantage because they can. See, when Kemet was invaded, I'm not going to teach this today, but when Kemet was invaded, the Europeans that came there, they didn't come to enslave us. They came because they saw a land of overflowing and wealth. And they were the barbarians. They were the ones that were slaves. They were hungry. They were sick. They were desolate. They were dying. And so when they visit Kemet and they saw these people, they saw these wealthy people, and they wanted that.
Yes,
see?
Sir,
they
brother.
wanted that land. They wanted that life. And so when you can't get what you want, you'll get what you can. But what we were people who were loving, passionate. So we begin to tell them, our secrets, you see? So then in life, you got to I won't teach that today, but in life, you got to know
You speak as free as you want to, man. Go ahead.
In life, you got to make sure that you are not the I can of a job, the I can of religion, the I can of relationship.
Teach, brother.
See, you got to make sure you're not operating in the I can.
Teach.
See, the I cans are the enslaved people, the I can. See? So in other words, they couldn't get to win the other countries or the other folks. They wanted them, but those folks wouldn't budget. But they came to a land that was flowing with milk and honey.
That's right.
They saw a land that was wealthy. And because we were the people we were, they said, we'll get them the I can. So we'll teach that another day. Make a note of this one. I'll come back and teach this. We need to teach this during the week, this one. LLC.
Writing it. LLC.
LLC. Listening, learning will capture you. Listening, learning will capture you. I'll teach that through the week one day. When Dr. Ray ready, we'll teach that. What that means is, often, Dr. Ray, you hear a lot of people say, oh man, it was love that lifted me. Or here's one, I fell in love with Jesus, or I fell in love with her. Well, I'm here to clear you up. The message is, you never fall in love. You listen, learn, and that's where you're captured.
Okay.
See?
Teach, brother.
It's the story that's being told that you're listening to, and you learn that story, or you learn what he or she is saying, and then that's what builds the covenant. And once you build the covenant becomes a habit. And the habit becomes a stronghold, and you can't hardly break it. LLC. You got it?
I got it.
The last nugget before we get into what we're talking about today is think. 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 Think.
Oh, think.
Yeah, think.
Okay.
All right. Now here's the power to the word think. All right. The H, habit. I, inquire or investigate. N, no nonsense. K, kick it to the curb.
Yeah, brother. Oh, see, y'all, I'm laughing because whenever the chef and I get on the phone, this happens every time we talk. I mean, it just starts rolling through this brother like this. It never fails. In fact, I mean, you see what happened, right? He just went right on in, and we didn't even I didn't get to introduce him or nothing.
Yeah.
But that's, man, listen, that's what happens when you have a word, brother, and that word has germinated in you.
Exactly.
Okay. Exactly. Sometimes it's like later for the preliminary remarks. Let me get to the point,
Yeah.
But I want the people to know but no, let's rehash that again. Those 3 points before we get it. When you can't have what you want,
right,
you will get what you can.
Right. In other words, if you want a life, all right, here's a short way of saying it. I remember working at a car lot. I was the general sales manager. And 85% of the people that came to the lot saw a car that they wanted. But they were not in position to get what they wanted, so they had to settle for what they can. And sometimes settling for what you can, right, may be where the hidden dilemma or devastation is hidden inside of that. And the European world has looked at us as people that, we can run over them, or we can control them, or we can manipulate them, or we can steal from them, or we can kill them. So we become the I cans. See? They living with the I want. What is the I want? They want prosperity. They want money. They want the best. See, they want those things.
They want land.
They want land. So what happens is, who can we get the land from? Let's get it from them.
Exactly. And
See,
that's
so
exactly what they did, man. That's
that's it.
exactly what they did.
That's how
That's
it works.
exactly what they did.
Now watch this, Doc. And boy, I didn't want to teach this yet today, but it's coming. Once you fall subject to the I can, no prayer, no fast, no religiosity can deliver you out of the I can. You have to go and get your mind liberated and not freed.
I got you.
See,
I got
people
you.
don't understand. Religion frees you, but freedom doesn't give you liberation.
Okay.
See, in freedom, I can be free to speak, but it has to be governed by him who appointed me to speak.
I got you.
But when I am liberated, I'm under the power of the Most High and the ancestors, that there is a mission inside of me.
Yeah.
That mission that is inside of me, watch this, I am not appointed to deliver it, I'm assigned to deliver it.
Yes, sir, brother.
See?
Yes.
See, you are in position, boy, I'm already there. You are in position because there is an assignment that has been on your life before birth.
Oh, yeah, bro. I'm clear on that. Yes, sir. You're right on that.
See, and folks are thinking that you're doing this for some popularity. People think I do what I do for some popularity, but you're far-fetched from that. See, because popularity and emotional feelings doesn't mean it's true.
Teach.
Superman was popular. Batman was popular. Wonder Woman was popular. Aquaman was popular. Jesus was popular, but it don't mean they were true.
Teach, brother.
See, so what happens is the Europeans have changed our origination of our mission, and we give our life, our money, our children, our power over to their popularity and emotional system.
Yes, sir, brother.
See, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and all of them would have went off the scene a lot quicker, but we kept watching the reruns over and over again.
That's right. Teach.
We kept putting life to it. Even though it was a character, we kept putting life to it. How? By becoming LLC.
Mm-hmm.
We were listening,
learning, and captured. Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir.
See? And when something is captured, what it's doing is it's asking you to serve out its platform, its mission. You don't catch a fish so that the fish can live. You catch a fish so that it can die.
That's right, brother. That's right. So it can die so you can live.
So that you can live. See? So the principle that they taught us was that so Jesus died so that we can live.
That's what they taught us.
They taught us that.
Yep.
See? So then we got caught up, or we got captured into the metaphor. We got captured into the belief system. See? And so that's why a lot of people love to say, most of us, if we're honest, most of us fall into relationships or into certain things because LLC. He said, "Oh, how I love thee. Let me count the ways." He said that he or she said that roses are red and violets are blue, and
I love you. Teach
all of those things that deal with the reticular activating system. Watch this. That we remembered being beaten, but never remembered being what we were before we were beaten.
Wow. Teach, man.
So the religiosity and this whole setup of what we call Palm and Easter Sunday is because they're taking you from the point of where you was supposed to have been beaten and not from the point of where you were before you were brought here. So then LLC, listening, learning, and capture. So then how do I get to liberation? You get to liberation simply by changing your view.
Yes.
Learning something different.
Yes.
See, that's how you get to liberation.
Actually, man, that's what the word repent means.
That's what it means.
Repent. A lot of people think repent means go crying and I'm sorry, get on your knees, God forgive me. That's not repent. Repent simply means to have a change of mind.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
once we do that, man, then we can move in the proper direction.
Right. Oh, I didn't give the third one. The third one, and then we'll teach this the next time. We become sons and daughters of Frankenstein.
No, you know, no, you ain't gonna wait till next time.
We become sons and daughters of Frankenstein. Let me help you out. Frankenstein was a novel that was written 1818, okay, by a lady by the name of Shelby. Watch this. In this story in 1818, it was her coming up with a metaphor thinking of a human being monster. Now, let me tell you what was so crazy about this whole Frankenstein. Supposedly, Frankenstein was a man that was created and shaped out of clay and given fire to control the people. Whether that story sound familiar?
Yeah, brother.
In other words, shaping, this is the story, go look for yourself. Shaping, this is her story out of her mind, shaping out of clay. Watch this. And mold to become a monster, yet to be controlled by her or by the maker of it. It's almost like really God. Remember you taught us that? Really God. To tie a strong animal to a pole and you whip it until it becomes subject to him who's whipping it.
There you go.
So her whole mission about Frankenstein was to build fear into the humans who saw or learned of Frankenstein. That way, they would always be subject to it. They would always fear it. They would always bow to it. So we become sons and daughters of Frankenstein.
Wow.
Whatever the system say, we do it. If the system says take a shot, we do it. If the system says drink poison, we do it. If the system says we're building a bridge and we want you all to go right and not left, we do it. We become the sons and daughters of Frankenstein.
You know, brother, it's ironic because before we went live today, it dawned on me, you know, that's right. This is that traditional programming of Palm Sunday.
Oh, yes.
That's what today is supposed to be, right? I mean, man, churches everywhere will be handing out these things called palms, palm branches today, from a story that they made up.
Correct.
Of this guy riding into Jerusalem on a donkey, and the people revered him so much that they tore the branches off the palm trees and laid it in the dirt so the donkey wouldn't have to walk in the dirt. and because of this lie that they fabricated, now we, like you say, we become sons and daughters of this monster, man.
That's it. It's a monster. It's out of control. It's out of control. And you know what's crazy? Again, it goes back to think. See, the system that has been given to us, the word the, oh yeah, we can look for nouns and pronouns and all of that good stuff, but the word the simply means the introduction to something. It announces the introductions. For an example, the house is on fire. The world is round. It means give me your attention. See? Because I'm about to, and I get the noun and pronoun and adjectives, I get all of that. But all of that been conjured up later on so that you would not understand the originality, because certain letters were really not even around at that particular time.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? That's right, brother.
It's like me and my cousin sometimes get into it. He loves to say, oh, the reason why you don't know, it was BC, before Christ. I said, well, let me help you out. I took the liberty to go look that up. There was never a BC. It was a BCE.
Teach, brother, before BCE, the common era.
Before civilization era.
All right.
It means that who were you before they told you who you were?
Oh, brother. Who were you before they told you who you were?
Yeah, BCE. It was called before civilization era. Now, in 1736 is when they started adding certain letters. Why? So that who you were would not resurface. But then in Galatians, I think it's Galatians 5 and 16, I believe. I'll look it up the next time. It says, I see dead men walking. That's what it says. It says, I believe it's Galatians. Yeah, it is Galatians. Come back, but I can't remember. He says, I see dead men walking. Right. Mm-hmm. So then when I dissect that about a year ago, I looked into that particular. And I'm sorry, I'm off subject. I know I'm supposed to be somewhere.
Brother, just go ahead and flow, man.
So when I looked that up, and I just didn't stop with just the part they talk about and Paul and John and all of those characters. Because first of all, when you read the Bible, if those characters are not real, you got to find out who are the original characters.
There you go. Yes.
No movie is great without the original character.
That's right, brother. Teach.
You got to find out. And so I started diving into that. And it took me almost 2 to 3 days to find out the original terminology of dead men walking. See, dead men walking says that, and God, and I'm going to give you the paraphrase, or I'm going to give you the part that was given to me.
Okay.
Dead men walking mean that the Father has designed a divine life for his people.
Okay.
But because they have taken on the dead man's life and mission and mindset, then the wealth of the world doesn't come to them. It goes to him who operate as if they are the chosen one.
I got you. There you go. There you go. I got it.
So we are working jobs, getting degrees, and I got nothing against all that. Trying to get back to being the chosen one. Well, first of all, you got to know that the chosen one is totally different than everyone.
Teach, brother.
The chosen one is not like everyone. But watch what Galatians says. It says that I have created a life for my children, for my people. That's what it says now. It says, but they have walked out of my identity. They've been adopted into another family. And now the wealth that would have came to them goes to them that have adopted them.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So while we're thinking that it is just a color thing, it's a mind thing, a wealth thing, an identity thing. So I want to ask them a question. Who is your daddy? who is he? You see?
I love the way you asked that question because you even rocked back when you said it.
Yeah, who is your daddy? See, we're fulfilling. We are giving life to the one who stole the wealth.
That's right, brother.
So then the writer says, I see dead men walking. All right, let's use a little common sense. You have to have a degree on this teaching. Let's use a little common sense. Dead men don't walk.
Right.
Even, watch this, they don't realize, even in, I think it's Luke, but even in the allegory, even when Lazarus supposedly died, even the first thing Jesus said, he's not dead, he's sleeping.
Mm-hmm. So
then he plants in their minds that the dead man is going to be walking again. So he sets the stage that when he gets to the fulfilling of the lie, it takes you deeper versus liberating you.
Yes. Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
You got me?
Yes.
So then here's what happens. We have to find ourselves getting in position for the mission.
Yeah.
If you don't get in position for the mission, you'll live out somebody else's dream for the rest of your life.
And now we're getting ready to go into the topic for today, but I still want people to know who they're listening to.
Okay.
So put a pin in that, because I told y'all every time we get on the phone, we go through this. Okay. The brother just start Yeah, and I love it. See, that's one of the things I love about you, man, because spirit just flows, brother. It just starts flowing through you as you start talking, you know.
Mhm.
But brothers and sisters, you are listening to a brother that I met. How many years ago was that,
Ooh.
man?
Oh man.
Ah,
Ooh.
ah,
That was I'd have to ask Miss Gloria. It's been that long. Uh,
yeah.
uh,
I was asked to speak in South Carolina,
yeah.
and Pastor Wright was the master of ceremonies
Hmm.
of that program. And when we met that day,
Yeah.
in fact, that's the picture that y'all see on the flyer that I sent
Yeah.
out. We
Yeah.
met that day, and our spirits connected,
Yes.
and we've been like that ever since.
Ever since.
You know,
Every since.
and but for those who are listening to you, notice I did say Pastor Edwin Wright
Hmm.
because he's a pastor or
Hmm.
has been a pastor,
Correct. Has been a
right?
pastor. Mhm.
Okay. He is one of the world's nation's most renowned gospel radio announcers. He's got his own gospel radio show there in Charleston, and I want to talk about that strategic position as well today.
Right.
Uh, man, tell us about yourself.
Well, yeah, pretty much that's it in a nutshell. But I again, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I was raised with as 14 preachers before me and my family, and
Wow.
I became the 15th preacher based upon teaching and understanding, well, interpretation and not understanding. As you
Mhm.
said, I operate a radio show here in Charleston, radio station, Heaven 100.1, Monday through Fridays, and then on Sunday mornings, like this morning, 6 to 11, on the syndicated Steve Harvey show, I do a gospel segment as well. And so, as you said, I was one of the ones before now, I would have been on your live trying to rebuke you
Uh-huh.
simply because being a pastor and not understanding your mission will
Mhm.
cause you to fight liberation.
Yes.
May I say that again?
Yes. Say it again, brother.
Being a pastor and not understanding your mission will cause you to fight liberation.
Yes,
And
sir.
I fought liberation for years because of how I was taught.
Exactly.
And so I got kind of angry because I started looking at a lot of things in my life, and it just didn't add up. You know, I was dealing with a daughter that was struggling with diabetes and all kinds of stuff. And while I was trying to rebuke you, and it wasn't working, my daughter one night after a revival in Hemingway, South Carolina, and I mean, there were there were hundreds of people that got saved. A drug dealer gave up his Gucci watch, all that stuff, just to know Christ. And
Okay.
so on our way riding home the last night of revival, I saw my daughter crying, and I said, "Sweetie, what's wrong?" She said, "Dad, I just don't understand how Jesus." That's what she said. She said, "How did Jesus help you to teach them into deliverance and healing? But I'm your daughter. I'm your blood."
Mm.
She said, "And I'm still battling with this situation." So
Mm.
I didn't say anything. Sometimes I tell people, that's why I like your disclaimer. When you come on here, I don't mean no harm, but shut up and listen.
There you go,
Just
bro.
listen. Because if what you know and what you've been doing doesn't help you right then something's wrong with what you know and what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
And
Teach.
so the whole ride home, I was quiet, didn't say anything. And so she knew though how I felt about you. She knew I was constantly rebuking you and what you said. But I listen, even though she's sick and going through whatever, I just knew you wasn't right. I just knew. I just knew. And people don't realize there's a scripture for everything that you do in life.
All
And so
right.
I kept rehearsing that there would be false prophet. I kept rehearsing that.
Uh-huh.
And one day when I was listening to you in my quiet time, and she came out and she said, "Dad, in verses rebuking him, why don't you just stop and listen to him?"
Wow.
And so from then on, I started listening, not knowing I was going to meet you, not knowing that. And
Wow.
so maybe a year later on the radio, I just started quoting different things. And then Miss Gloria, who's on here, they had a birthday party. They wanted to have a birthday party for me at a club. And I was like, man, I can't go in there. But the people said, no, we want to celebrate you here. So I went there, and there's where I met Miss Gloria. And she said, there was something about you that sounds like this guy I know named Dr. Ray. And so
Wow.
I said, Dr. Ray. She said, yeah. She said, it's something about your spirit. And so she said, he's coming to Charleston. And so she didn't tell me she wanted me to meet you. She just wanted me to MC the program.
All right. I got you.
So I keep telling people that how God operates is he doesn't operate in the familiar.
That's right.
See, people don't realize God don't operate in the familiar. He's always trying to get something to you that is not common or something that you're not used to. Okay. So when I agreed to do it, I only agreed because she was paying me for my talent.
Wow, ain't that something?
I didn't. I'm just being transparent. I didn't agree to it because I just desperately had to meet you. I agreed to it because of the talent fee being.
It was a gig.
It was a gig. That's what we do. But what is strange is normally my daughter never goes with me, but this Saturday she came with me.
Wow, brother.
She came with me that Saturday because I told her, I said, "Oh, you remember the guy that I'm, rebuking? I said, he gonna be in Charleston." I said, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my part emceeing, and then we're going to leave, and we're going to the seafood place and eat seafood. Okay. She'll take that was our plan. And I don't know if you remember, but when you walked in, I was already through, and I was sitting in the back and the drummers and everything. And when you got up and you started talking, and you used the word Uber, and you talked about that, about the king, and there's a spirit in here that the city, the voice of the city, there's a voice in here. And when you point back to me and my daughter, tears started rolling down our eyes.
Wow.
And that whole wall that I had built up against you, it fell.
Wow, brother.
And so I tell people, if you're quiet and listen, he will let you know right away the directions you need to take.
Yes.
And so even though I was a pastor and had a church and I've been pastoring for years and knew the Pentateuch, studied all of that stuff and had more degrees than KFC got recipe. I didn't go into seminary. I was raised up as a deacon and then a lay member, and I've gone through the ranks. But for the first time in my life, I recognized that the thing that was really in me was like Joseph. The story. It was something else there. And for the first time, I was okay not being what people call me and being lifted up in them saying, Pastor. It was more about my assignment. And so then when you and I met and embraced, man, we started collaborating and talking. And people don't realize we would talk on the phone, just having a conversation, and it would just go off.
Sure.
I mean, and you would stop me and say, "Bro, did you know what you just said?" And I'd be like, "What's right? What did I?" He's like, and so immediately you said, "Bro, you have a gift truly from God."
Yes, sir, brother.
You have this, and I tell people all the time, chosen people, we don't know exactly all the time what we're gonna say.
That's right.
We just get our assignment and we carry it out.
That's it, brother. That's it.
We carry it out. And so a lot of people often ask me in my inbox, how do you do it and you work at a gospel station? I said, well, one thing that Dr. Ray always taught me was never forget or do not damage your voice platform.
That's right.
No matter how you may feel, your platform is important.
That's
because
right.
No matter how much truth you know, you got to understand the platform and whereby you own.
That's wisdom right there, brother.
Yeah, you got to understand
that's wisdom.
Yeah, and so
you are where you are by divine strategy.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
You understand? And you're in a very, very important place, brother. You have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
You have a voice man, that, and I don't just mean your vocal mechanism.
Right, right.
I mean, you have the platform to reach, oh my goodness, brother, the walking dead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I started doing a Facebook Live, and there are people that come to that Facebook Live every morning, Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them come there, and believe it or not, it's not even about the music.
Okay.
It's and it's nothing that I plan to do. I just turn it on. I do the Facebook Live. I greet. I have fun, and then all of a sudden, something will kick in.
Mm-hmm.
And then people will inbox me later on saying, "You saved my life."
There you go.
People will inbox and said, "Man, I was thinking the same thing."
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh man, oh my God. I was talking on a topic one time, and my topic was love it, like it, or gotta have it. And it was talking about relationships. And
Mm-hmm.
so I can get into that. So then I realized that the pastor, that's why I don't move it, because it brings people to that like advertisement, like
Mm-hmm.
Wendy's, they show you the burger that's so big, it's bigger than the TV.
Uh-huh.
But it brings you to Wendy's. See? And
Yeah.
so I don't move it. It doesn't bother me because it brings people to where they need to be.
I got you. Yeah.
See? And then when they get there, I'm able to say, though, what they need.
There
Because
you go,
we
brother.
got to understand, it is not the title that liberates people.
Teach. Teach.
There is no title that is given
Teach.
to you that will liberate people.
Teach, brother.
If that was the case, being the elder, the apostles, and all those names, going to the cancer hospital and say, Apostle so-and-so just showed up, cancer be gone.
Right. Teach,
And see,
brother.
those things that are given, those titles that are given to people, it interrupts their mission. They don't understand their mission because they start chasing that position.
There you go, brother.
See? They start chasing being the elder. They start not realizing an elder actually is someone in wisdom, maturity, and age that have been given a gift.
There you go, Doc. Talk good.
It is not about an appointment.
Talk good, man.
And so the first thing I did was God said, you have to relinquish your appointment in order to serve your assignment.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that.
I had to relinquish my appointment in order to fulfill my assignment. I had to relinquish my appointment. Some people say, why? An appointment is good. Well, an appointment is being set by a man.
Okay.
See, you make a doctor's appointment and it's based upon the doctor's availability.
All right. Yep.
You make a car appointment, it is based upon when the people can come, when the people can accept you to serve your car.
Mm-hmm.
And watch this. When an appointment, you don't have to learn or know anything about yourself. All you do is drive to where the appointment is and allow them to do the work on you.
That's so true, bro.
But when you are under an assignment, assignment is closer to a mission.
Yes, sir.
See, an assignment comes from a higher authority that cannot be seen. That's what folks really know that. An assignment comes from a higher source that cannot be seen. And the chosen one cannot show you who they are. They can only teach from that assignment that's in them.
Teach, brother. Man,
and when you have an appointment, man can take that appointment from you simply because you didn't do what the bishop or the elder wants you to do.
They can cancel your appointment.
They can cancel your appointment. But when you have an assignment, here's what's deep. When you have an assignment, all you have to do is get in position. It'll connect you to the mission.
Yes, sir, brother.
And even when you falter, even when you're not your best, even when you don't feel like who you should feel like, even like when you get up and you're empty, even when you feel like I can't go another mile, even when you go ready to throw the assignment back, it's woven inside you like a tattoo.
Brother. Yes, sir, brother.
And no matter how hard it hurts, that assignment is assigned to you. No matter how many comes, how many don't come, no matter how many don't believe, that assignment is what you live for.
Yes,
that
sir, brother.
That's why I said, that's why when we were talking, I said, people don't realize you and I are now in position for this mission. Because the world is waking up now and they're seeing that this thing that's been taught them for years never worked, and especially now is not working.
Oh man.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And here's what I tell people. See, your assignment is not something that you just learn. Your assignment is in your DNA.
Yes, sir, brother.
See?
Yes.
And yes, for years, we operate in an appointment. But sooner or later, that assignment keeps wrestling. That's why they came up with the story that Jacob wrestled with the angel all night long. What we are wrestling with is what they told me and what is happening on the inside of me.
Teach, brother. Teach.
And what is happening on the inside of me is greater than what they have told me.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? See, I tell people, prayer warriors are not people who were taught to pray.
That's right, brother. That's well said.
See, when you have that mission of a prayer warrior, watch this, you can walk in the room and your atmosphere, your illumination of that assignment on the inside immediately cause people's lives to change. Because it's an assignment. I had a friend one time, I said, listen, I don't think you, they asked my question, I said, I don't think you ought to date that guy. Well, no, you don't understand. Well, who are you to tell me? See, chosen people are not perfect people. But we are people that has an assignment, and our mission is to rescue you that you might not do the things that you cannot see. See, there's only a Ray Hagins because there are things that we cannot see.
Oh man.
Like I couldn't see as a pastor, Ray, I couldn't see what you were saying. As with an appointment, I couldn't see it. I could, bro. I love you, but I couldn't see it. But once I denounced the covering that was over me, watch this. Once I put some fennel seed, it pulled out the virus shot that I had. Because fennel seeds can go in and destroy the shot. Well, I don't want to get into that, but you got to put something in to combat what you already know.
That's right. That's right.
That's why the writer said, when I would do good, evil was always present. Even though they are allegories, there are some principles to them.
Yes, of course.
See, there are some principles. But what has happened is the hidden original characters have been made or have been enslaved, not slave, enslaved. See, once you are enslaved, it makes you not, people look at you as not worthy. Look at you as a zero. Like, who are you? You're nothing. Who are you to tell me something? Because now you're enslaved. But then I got news for you. Now, I had this I wanted to talk about too. In Ezekiel 37:10, and it says, and God dropped Ezekiel into this valley where there were dry bones. See, and God dropped Ray Hagins in this valley where there was dry bones. And he didn't tell Ezekiel to lay hands. That's why people don't understand. No, he said, prophesy, talk to them. Right.
Speak to these bones, brother. Speak.
So when you dropped into Charleston, when you came into Charleston and you began to prophesy, in other words, just speak, you spoke life to this dry bone.
Wow, bro.
You spoke life to this walking, this dead man walking. See? And here's the crazy thing about Frankenstein and dead men walking. You're dead and don't even know you're dead.
Don't know you did. That's right, brother.
So So they need to take this disclaimer. You become saints in motion, but no devotion.
See, there you go.
You become saints in motion, but no devotion. People say, yeah, I'm devoted to my church. That's not devotion.
That's right, brother. That's just motion.
That's just motion.
Yeah, man. Teach, brother.
See, it's a crazy man to put money into an investment and don't get a return.
Yes, sir.
So you put your life into a teaching, and all you're getting is an emotional movement.
Yes, sir, brother. That's where our people are.
See, and we chase for that. And I get it, because that's what we were taught. See, everybody in life, you are not the chosen one, but you have a mission. You have a mission. But in order to accomplish that, you got to be in position.
Yes, sir, bro.
The Most High have given me the position as a program director on a radio station that allow me to be in position and yet carry out the mission.
Yes, sir. Yep.
See?
Yep.
He allows me. I had a brother that just came to me the other day. I used to work for him many years ago in radio. He was the owner and I was the general manager. And he sold the station and I left radio. And so the other day, about a month ago, he called me up. He said, man, I need to talk to you. I said, okay, no problem. He said, man, listen, God allowed me to write this book. I said, really? He said, yeah. And he said, the book is called The Autopsy of Slavery in the Bible. He said, man, the Bible or the gospel of God never meant for us to be enslaved. Right. And he wrote a book. I said to myself, bro, you're on to something. See,
that's right.
We don't realize that the mission of you, Doc, is not to build a church.
Teach, brother.
The mission of you is not to raise pastors to duplicate the religiosity.
Teach, brother.
Your assignment is to go into that valley of dry bones and speak life to the bones, that the bones may live. See, that the bones. And so when I looked up and said, wow, why would you want bones to live? In other words, they dried up because there was no life in them.
Exactly.
Church was in them, but no life was in them.
Go on with it, brother. Go on, man.
Yeah. They have to.
I'm just trying. I'm trying to be cool, man. Cause I want to just scream that, but I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're doing fine. You know what I mean?
Oh man, brother.
See, if it was just about an appointment, Doc, you would have never sacrificed to be doing what you do on a Sunday, because you have the doctoral of being a pastor. You have the credentials to being a bishop or overseer. You have all those credentials. But watch this. What does it profit a man to gain that?
That's right, brother.
And lose his soul.
That's right. Thank you.
I looked that up too. I went back and I looked that up. Watch this. It said, what does it profit a man to gain this world, right, and lose his soul? Watch what it means. And you can go check it out. Souls are people who are assigned to your assignment.
Wow.
It's not about you losing anything. It's about your assignment. They are souls to the kingdom. So your liberation and teaching will cause people to be as the dry bone to come to life. It will cause people to come to life. See?
Man. And you know what, man? It's like I'm seeing what you're saying. I mean, I'm actually seeing it happen. What you're saying. I'm seeing it happen. And yet, that was never my intent.
Right.
If that makes sense. In other words, like you said, I'm not trying to build a church. I'm not trying to grow. And all I want to do is teach, man. That's it. I've always said that. All I want to do is just teach the truth.
Yeah.
knowing that the power of the truth will make the people free. That's all I want to do.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Oh man.
Yeah. Because again, you got dead men walking. We have dead men walking. And the reason why is because preachers are not in position for the mission. You're in the pulpit, but you're not in position. You're in the robe, but you're not in position. See, what we're doing is we're giving life to a European mission.
Oh man, Doc, that'll preach.
Yeah, we're giving life to a European mission.
Giving life to a European mission. Wow.
See, that's what we're doing, and we are settling for freedom and not liberation.
That is what the average preacher is doing, brother.
They're teaching you freedom, but what good is it freedom when I don't own any land, when I don't own a business, when I don't, when
you have no power.
You have no power. You got a house, but there's no power running to it.
Oh man.
You got a car, but there's no gas in the tank. Or better yet, you got gas in the tank and don't have an engine that works. And that's my assignment. That's why I had to. I do what I do is because every morning, Doc, I promise you, every morning, I don't move until I spend that time of meditation. What is it that I'm supposed to say? What is it? You and I have talked a lot of times. You say, bro, come on the show, and I'll be like, man, let me think about it. Because I gotta meditate because the platform is so important. Until I just don't want to come and share something. I want to speak to the common man that says, listen, this guy is trying to get oxygen into your spiritual blood system.
Yes, sir, brother. He's
trying to oxidize again. He's trying to get the right stuff into your blood system. See, that's it. And he's trying to tell you, cut out the white sugar. Catch it.
There you go. There you go, brother.
Cut out the white sugar because that system is destroying you.
Yeah.
How did it become white sugar? You took the sugar cane that was brown and you took something out of it that it can become white. Oh, y'all
there you go.
You wondering how this world got turned the way it was when we were kings and queens? Is because they took something out of the system that we may dehydrate and die, that they can become the important sugar to use. So everybody wants that sugar. That sugar looks important. That world looks the best world. See? But most importantly, what I want folks to remember is being in position for the mission. Everything that feels good and sounds good is not really good.
You know, man, what is also important, as I'm listening to you, what good is being in a position if you don't even know what your mission is?
If you don't, man. If you don't.
Wow, brother.
I looked it up when you and I talked about it. I looked this up Thursday morning. There is 21 definitions for the word mission. 21 definitions for the word mission. But the one that got my attention was, it says there is a group of people or persons whose assignment comes from a power, a source that is unchangeable, meaning the truth.
All right. Yes, sir.
See, that's why they don't tell you the truth. Because if you tell the truth is unchangeable. But now I can give you something that sounds like the truth. Okay? But it doesn't have the same results as the truth.
I got it.
So when people are looking for mission, you're looking for purpose in life. And how can you know your purpose, or how can your mission or purpose be truth or effective if the thing that you're teaching about your mission doesn't exist?
There you go.
That means you really never had an encounter You only serve what they told you the results of something should be. So that's what you give yourself to.
Man, yeah.
See, every I love you can be I love you, but doesn't mean it's committed to you.
That's right, Doc. Trust me, I learned that the hard way.
Oh yeah. See,
I learned that the hard way, brother.
But I encourage the listeners, as I close, I encourage the listeners that are watching. Here's what you have to do. You have to come to your broadcast empty.
Mm-hmm.
If you come full, then you're not learning.
Right.
What you're looking for is I'm going to the oil place, but I'm going there to take my car to use their tools to change my own oil.
I love your analogies, man. I'm telling you.
They come here, and if you already feel you're not coming to learn, you're coming so I can, okay, let me see what he's gonna say. Then I'm gonna take what he says and critique it, and then I'm gonna take the steak that he gave me. It reminds me of a story that you remember Pastor W.B. Smith. He preached a sermon, "Watch Those Dogs."
Yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
There was a dog that he preached that was sitting by on the yard, and the man was grilling a steak, a piece of meat. And the dog kept just sitting there and making noise and letting the man know, I'm here. That's what he did. I'm here. And so while the man was flipping his steak, he flipped one of it after it hit the ground, right off the grill. That dog grabbed that meat and didn't want nobody else to get it. He went running around the house and, oh my God, and finally he went up under the house. But when he got ready to eat the meat, because he wouldn't let it go, his mouth was so bloody and so torn up from the heat until he couldn't even eat the meat. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we hold on to things so long and we don't let it go until now your mouth is messed up, your taste buds is messed up. Now here comes something that's good for you, and you're using the experience of the burnt hot meat to not eat the real good
food. Teach, brother. Teach.
And we've been in a position for so long and serving somebody else's mission until now here comes the truth. But you done been burnt, and you done had to taste of this until now, and you can't even eat the truth now. So that's why I tell folks, when you come to this live, come empty. When I come here, it's not about me being a chef or whatever. I come because I want to collaborate with my brother, and I'm learning. I come because there's something that I said today that might not fit everybody, but if you think, it'll bless your lives.
Yeah, brother.
See, I said it. Habits. What is habits? Those things that became habitual, things that we use for so long, handed down.
Mm-hmm.
Habits. You have to investigate. You have to. In no nonsense, mean it has no value to you, but to the other person. You got to be willing to kick it to the curb. You got to be willing to stop doing that. You got to be willing to say, no. There's a blues song I love listening to now by this guy, reggae guy. It says, I don't want to be a player no more. He said, I don't want to be a player. I love this song. He said, I don't want to be a player no more. And see, that's what we have to understand. You have to be willing to say, I don't want to be enslaved anymore.
There you go, bro. That's it.
Listen,
I had to come to that point.
Yes.
I had to come to the point of saying, I don't want to do this anymore. I can't do this anymore.
I can't.
I just can't. I can't teach this lie anymore. I don't want no parts of this programming anymore. Man, I've actually had friends, guys who knew my path in the traditional program. Straight up said, "Nigga, you crazy." I've had people say, "Man, you gave up a gold mine."
Yeah.
I say, man, you know how much work goes into digging out a gold mine?
Oh man.
People think a gold mine just gold laying around. Man, no, brother, you gotta. Why put all that energy into a lie?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm putting energy into something, bro, it's gonna be the truth.
You might as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and brother, I have to be honest with you. I don't regret one moment.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I don't regret one moment, man. I don't. Mm-mm.
My
I
mom
wouldn't
asked me.
trade it for nothing in the world, bro.
My mom asked me. She said, "I don't see how you did it." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, you don't run to the church. You don't preach on the platform." I said, "Well, Mom, I gave up faith for facts."
There you go, Doc.
She
There
said,
you
"What?"
go.
I said, "I gave up faith for facts." She said, "That don't make no sense." I said, "Well, it might not make sense to you." I said, "But I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you have faith you in the truck with me, or do you have facts you in the truck with me?"
There you go.
She said, "Well, I know I'm in the truck with you because I'm sitting here with you." I say, "Exactly." I
Uh-huh.
said, "But before I got to your house, you had to have faith, hoping that I'm gonna come and pick you up and take you to your appointment."
There you go. That's it.
But when I showed up and blew the horn and got out to help you get in, it becomes facts.
That's right, brother.
If what you believe never becomes a fact, then that's not
Something's wrong with it, bro.
Something's wrong with it.
Something's wrong with it,
Something's
brother.
wrong with it. And so that's why a lot of us are off course, because we don't understand the mission. And in order to understand the mission, you got to get in position. And everybody has a mission.
Yeah.
Rather that mission has been distorted by information,
Mm-hmm.
or have that mission being fed by facts. You have a mission. I told folks the other day, I said, why worry about, sometimes I run into young ladies all the time. "Oh, I'm 50. Oh, I'm 45. I'm 60 and I'm not married yet." I said, "Well, maybe marriage was not your mission."
All right. Teach, brother. Teach.
Because we were not created for the life of pleasure. We were
Oh,
created
man.
for the life
Teach,
of
bro.
purpose. We were created for the life of purpose, not the life of pleasure.
Yes.
Once you dive into your purpose, it becomes pleasing.
Yes.
To he that has an ear, let him hear. It becomes pleasing to them.
Yes, brother.
But those of us that are in position for the mission, sometimes it becomes painful for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, folks don't have a clue what it is to be Ray Hagin. Folks don't have a clue what it is to be Chef.
Yeah.
You gotta become this individual that you gotta look at friends that you used to hang with or used to be around, and they don't want to be around you no more. Not that you don't want to be around them, they don't want to be around you anymore because they don't want to hear the revealing truth that you're about to bring.
That's right, brother. That's right. That's right.
If folk can hang around you and they can handle the truth, then you got a friend.
You know, man, my mom used to say stuff like that. I don't even think she might have known what she was saying, but of course she was talking about the church.
Uh-huh.
And she said, if you give your life to the Lord, you don't have to give up the world. The world will give you up.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, in essence, she was saying, once you come into the knowledge of the truth,
yes, yes,
you don't have to worry about giving up the world or those who ain't in the truth. They'll give you up because, like you said, brother, they don't want that. They don't want to be around your energy.
No.
And yet, at the same time, they respect your energy.
They respect your energy. Mm-hmm.
They respect it, but they can't handle it, man.
Exactly. You become an introvert. You become, but the difference is you're okay being by yourself.
You got that right.
You begin to say the lower the noise of the crowd, the better it is.
Yes, sir, brother.
See?
Yes, sir.
I told this to a young lady one time. How do you know a person, a guy or whatever could be for you or could be real? I said, after all the conversation you've had, walk away for about a few days. Let step outside of the picture frame and then look back. See, as long as you're in the picture frame, you can't see it. You got to step out. See, I had to step outside of the religiosity teaching. I had to step outside of it and look back. Then I realized there was more room outside of the box than in the box.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
It was more room. And
yes.
So I encourage folks when they come here, understand this. And if you never hear me, remember anything I said, because see, a lot of times people hear me and they look for the intellectual sermon or the intellectual exegesis of things. Man, I'm a free spirit messenger.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll get off because someone popped on the line that needed just to hear that one liner.
All right, that's true. That's
sometimes
true.
Sometimes people come on and they needed to hear that I'm important, that you are important.
Yep.
Sometimes people need to hear the reason why you're on Dr. Hagins' platform is because we are in the valley of dry bones.
Yeah, man.
And somebody needs to tell us, watch this, not just a story, but tell us the truth.
Yes.
See, we need to hear the truth, not just a story. Not just a story. And so I honor you for this opportunity. I honor you for this moment of allowing us to hear the truth, no matter how it feels. I mean, we go to the doctor and the doctor says, well, you know what? There's a bad tooth on the right side. Oh, no, doc. But you go right back and say, well, doc, I can't fix it. So can you fix it?
That's right. That's what you do.
See? So you come every week saying to the Most High and give it homage to the ancestors. That's why I tell people, oh, another thing, when you're in a mission, you hadn't been called, you've been sent.
That's right, Doc. That's right.
When you're in a mission, you hadn't been called, you've been sent.
Yes, sir.
We've been sent.
Yes, sir, bro.
We've been sent.
Oh, man. Yes, sir.
So I'll leave it there. I digress.
Man, you know, I'm listening to you, looking at comments, you know, and it's like I'm looking at the comments saying, man, they love the way you cook. And I can understand why. You know, and since we're on that, help us understand why you're called the chef, because I think some people might think that you're actually a cook. Like food.
No,
how did you get that nickname, brother, the chef?
I worked for a radio station in Munns Corner, South Carolina, many years. I did a sports show with an former NFL star, Roland Harper. Roland Harper used to play for the Chicago Bears. He was the fullback to Walter Payton. And he actually bought a McDonald's here in Munns Corner. And Roland and I became best of friends. We became friends. Hey, I could drive his Porsche if I wanna. I mean, we were just good friends. And we used to do a sports show on Mondays and Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock. So let me fast forward. One afternoon, I was doing the show because Roland couldn't come. My name is actually Edwin. And so while I was doing the show, a young lady called. And when I picked up the phone, I didn't realize, because you wear headsets so that you can hear the music. And you know what I'm saying? So I thought people were hearing the music and not me and the young lady talk. But while we were talking, she says, Edwin, I said, yes. And so as we began to converse, she started talking about how she got pregnant and her family wanted to, the church silenced her, wanted to put her out the house and all that stuff. So immediately, let me fast forward. So immediately what I did was I said, well, hold on. She wanted to commit suicide. That's what it was. She wanted to commit suicide. Young lady had the gun in her hand. And because I heard the clicking and I asked her, what was that? She said, well, I found my dad's gun. She said, and I just wanted to talk to you before I do this. She said, my life, I think things would be better if I was not here.
Wow.
And so right then I was like, well, wait. Wait. So when I took the headsets off, I didn't hear nothing. That's when I realized that the girl and I were talking, our conversation went on the air. And so, so immediately I was like, oh my God. So I put the headsets down and at that time it was albums. I put a song on so that the people could hear music, not us talking. When I came back to the phone, she had hung up. And so I was upset because I didn't get a name, didn't get a number. So then on that Monday, Roland couldn't come again. Roland couldn't come. He's a chef. I'm Edwin, so you got to do the show again because I got something going on at the restaurant. I said, no problem. So I got a phone call inside while I was in there. The young lady said, well, what I did was I played 3 songs. Florida Mass Choir about the old lady that got put out.
Yeah.
I played that song. I played a song by the Winans called Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
By them. And then I played a song by BB and CeCe Winan called A Bridge Over Troubled Waters.
Oh yeah.
And so I kind of mixed those songs to get my message to the young lady. So anyway, so that Monday, Roland couldn't come. So I got a call. Young lady said, "Is Edwin there?" I said, "This is me." She said, "Can you come outside?" I said, "Well, no, I'm working, you know." And so she said, "Well, can me and my sister come inside?" And I said, "Yeah." First thing ran across my mind, boy, my path and caught with me. You know, my mom gonna kill me because I didn't got somebody, you know, because that's what we did, you know, even in the church, you know, that's what we did.
Yeah.
And so, so when they came inside, the younger girl grabbed me. She was holding me tight. So I asked her sister behind her. I said, "Who's this?" She said, "Remember the girl that wanted to commit suicide? She heard your message. She went to a church in St. Stephen called Believers Temple, a Church of God in Christ, Believers Temple, and she gave her life to Christ." And I was like, "Whoa!" So I went on the air to tell the people, because the people heard us, that she was okay. Because people were like, you know, "Is she all right?" Because they didn't have texts then, so people were calling and paging, you know. And so I went on the air to tell the people that she was okay. So there was a restaurant in Moncks Corner, a hotel and restaurant called Berkeley 52 or whatever. But the head chef there, Miss Addison. Miss Addison used to cook. And so Miss Addison, she heard the story. So she called me and she said, "Like I do in the kitchen, preparing meals for people, you prepare music." She said, "We ain't calling you Edwin no more. You're gonna be called the radio chef." And that's how I got the name, the radio chef. That's what it was.
Wow.
And so from there, my friend, you know, God has allowed this gift that was always that runs through my family. My family has always been a family that have a way with words that help people. I mean, I can remember back from my grandmother and my great grand. I can remember them saying things that was not even in the Bible, man. And we'd be children in the neighborhood be gathered around just listening. And so I didn't pay any attention then until I got older and started my mission. And I realized, man, like, God, what is this? Why don't people want to hang around me? I mean, why does people want to hang around me? I'm not smart. I don't have degrees. And then one day, you know, God just allowed me to know. He said, "It's that gift that's hidden in you."
That's everything, brother.
He says that gift,
everything.
He said it's not a talent. It's a gift I've given your bloodline, the lineage. He said it's in your ancestral line all the way down. He said, and you are to use it for my purpose. And then your daughter or your daughter's children, it will continue. It never stops with you. You know? And I remember sharing people. I said, that's why I'm called the chef, because of the nutrition of things that the God sends to me that allow people's lives to live. That's what it's all about, Doc. The things that I prepare are things that I meditate. It's like a chef in the kitchen. I mean, it cooks up something out of nothing. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it helps people to live or to get to the next moment or to the next truth. The problem you and I have is people take truth and take it into a dirty, like the dog under the house. See, they take truth and they take it in. It's like a hog to a mud hole and a dog to his vomit. You see what I'm saying? You get truth, but then by the time you get off here, you regurgitate it. Then you eat it. You see, so a lot of times, so when people ask me that, that's what that chef thing is all about. Got nothing to do with the kitchen. I probably couldn't boil water if you asked me to. But, you know, I mean, I can do a little something, but I don't. It's a difference between a chef and a cook.
That's right, brother.
It's a big difference between a chef and a cook. There's a difference between a chosen person and a pastor. It's a big difference.
Teach, brother.
Pastors only preach stories that you were told to preach.
That's right.
Chosen leaders, they consult the Most High. Yes. And ask the Most High, what does his people need, not what we want.
Yes.
And that's what makes the difference.
Yes. You know, you remind me of an experience I had, man. In 1982, I was run over by a car. It tore my head open at the top, broke 8 ribs. In fact, something under the car hooked me in my left eye, tore my eyelid open, and my eyeball was hanging out on my face. And I'm laying in the hospital, and I'm saying, God, why did you let this happen to me? You know, I mean, like I had just started my business, my music company, and I'm here laying here in the hospital, man, trying to build a business. And Spirit spoke to me, man, and said, you were moving so fast. I had to put you in a position to hear me. Now you laying here and you can't move, so I can talk to you. And bruh, to make a long story short, what I came away from that experience with were these words. From now on, when you get up to speak, never be so concerned with making your point. Be concerned with making the point that needs to be made. Never forgot that, man.
Yeah,
you know, and what you just said brought that back to me, man. You know, I'm honored.
Yeah,
Bro.
I struggle for, you know, people don't realize, and you know, I don't. You and I talking, and they're listening. One of the greatest challenge for me was, I never liked to be up front. I never wanted to be up front. My career of radio has launched me on a platform that I'm not comfortable with. You know, now when I get the mic in my hands, something happens, and then I know what to do.
Right.
But even with coming on your platform, most of the time I feel the least of them. I feel like, okay, I don't have the right words, and then all of a sudden I realize though that it is that point and whereby the Most High can put the most in me.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes.
See, I realized at that point, because a lot of stuff that I said today, I wasn't planning on saying that. I said, okay, today I'm gonna stick with. I got a couple of notes. I'm gonna go write down the notes. I'm not gonna talk about this, and I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm still right here. And then that fear that I feel, then the Most High, I'm vulnerable. I'm already out there now. So then it empties in me. When you are pastored, you are programmed.
Yes, sir, brother.
See, you are programmed to exegese the message that have been taught for many years. You don't even check it nor change it. You just exegese. You just exegese what has been given to you to say.
That's right.
But when you are vulnerable to the truth, you get in position where the truth now starts flowing through you. It's like a river, not a pond nor a lake.
Yes,
if you catch a fish out of a pond, somebody done put it in there.
Yep.
But when you catch a fish out of a river, it's because the river is flowing. And one day you might catch whiting. One day you might catch a bass. One day you might catch a shark. One day you might catch an eel because the river is flowing. And we have to understand that more runs through us. Oh boy, have mercy. Let me stop, man. I ain't supposed to.
No, don't stop, brother. That's what I love about you, man. That's what I love about. And y'all, again, whenever Chef and I get on the phone, this is exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Just he and I, you know, right now I ask him to come on and minister to the family, to the community. But we go through this with just he and I on the phone.
Yeah, all the time.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. And I gotta say this. And religion has built a dam in the river that God has created.
Ooh, brother.
And that dam is negating and controlling your flow.
Teach, brother.
The European system has caused to build a dam in the river, and whereby God created a river and the system created a dam. And that dam has caused a blockage whereby the fresh stuff would flow every day.
Yes,
every time you move, fresh stuff would flow. But because of the dam that's built, now they manipulate and control when you go out into the deep.
Yep. They control the flow.
They control the flow.
Man.
I digress.
Brother, I never have the words to express how much I appreciate you, man. You know, brother, it's you know, I thank you for coming on today and sharing with us, man, and blessing us. You ministered to me today, man.
Wow. Wow.
Oh boy.
Wow.
I thank you, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for just being who you are.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know, I love you, bro.
Yeah. Same here. Same here.
Ah, boy.
Yeah. Beyond measure. Yes, sir, bro.
Ah,
Yeah. You call me, I'm coming.
I
Yeah.
know, man. And same here, brother. Same
Yeah.
here.
You call me, I'm
Okay,
coming.
don't get me because yeah, I'm messed up right now, man. It's like,
No, man. No.
ah,
Thank you.
that's what happens. You know, I don't know how to say this, man, but I'd say it the best way I can. Who ministers to the minister? You know, when you give out so much and you give out so much, and you give out so much,
Mm-hmm.
somebody got to put back into you too, man.
Exactly.
You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
ah,
Yeah. And
that's
you give up to so many people.
that's what you did today, man. Oh boy.
Blessing. Blessing.
Man. I'm gonna let you go, man. Thank you, brother. Ah, ah, family. You know what? Whenever I have guests on my show, I like to say thank you to them for their ministry. You know, you can't pay for ministry. It's not possible, you know, but we want to help Chef pay a bill. We want to help him go out and get a meal if he want to, whatever kind of meal he want to get, back down to Crepes Palace. I'm coming, bro. I'm coming to Charleston so we can go to Crepes Palace and break bread, brother.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Oh yeah, but family, help me say today to my brother, thank you in a monetary way for giving of himself, for taking a stand for truth, justice, righteousness, harmony, balance, reciprocity. We put it in one word called ma'at. Oh, help me say thank you to my brother today. So when you give in your donations today, family, be considerate of that, because whatever you guys give today, I'm telling you now, whatever you guys give, I'm gonna just give half of it to this brother right here. Okay. So that so we can bless him. I'm sorry, I was just raised that way. You know, you don't you don't take a man's gift and walk away and just say thank you and that's it. You know, when a person blesses you, you bless them back. You can't go wrong that way. And you won't miss it. Take it from me. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, and you guys giving today, help me say thank you to this brother for blessing us in such a wonderful way today. And Chef, once again, man, thank you, brother, for coming on the air. Oh man, thank you, man. I'm gonna have to let you go because ah, thanks, bro.
Thank you.
Love you, man. I'll call you when we go off, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir, bro. Oh, family. It's wonderful, you know, when I hear testimonies of how we've changed somebody's life. But it's even more wonderful when that life that has been changed can turn around and reciprocate and change your life. You know, it's like what they say, take a candle and light another candle with it, that kind of thing. Yeah. But that's what this brother does. Every time we on the phone with each other, every time we're on the phone with each other, man, he ministers to me like this, you know, and I love this brother. I thank him so much. Thank the Most High for him, you know. So, oh man, okay, I got to get myself together here. Ah, yeah, I got to get myself together. I probably won't get myself together until I go off the air. Okay. And you're giving today, those of you who want to share with your substance, of course, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're watching me on YouTube and you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, okay? Hit that notification bell as well. So when I do go live, you'll know it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. I hope you were blessed today as like I was. I really do. Okay. If you want to send me an email, my email address is rayhagins@gmail.com. Okay. I also invite you to log on to our 24-hour day, 7-day a week webcast. Just go to the website, theafricanvillage.org, click the play arrow, and you hear me teaching nonstop. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Also, family, if you want to share your substance with us, please do that to help us do what we do. We don't do this for money, but we need money to do this. Okay. So, again, share your substance with us. If you're making a donation through PayPal, you see the address there. AfricanVillage1 at AOL.com is our PayPal donation address. If you're sharing with us through Cash App, it's hashtag Dr. Ray Hagins, as you see there on the screen. If you're making your donation through Zelle, I can't hardly see the screen. My eyes are so full of water. Oh, man. Uh, if you're making your donation through Zelle, uh, it's my email address, rayhagins@gmail.com on Zelle. Okay. If you want to mail in your donation, please feel free to do that as well. As you see the address there, the African Village. Make you pay check a money order payable to the African Village, 3520 North Newstead Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63115. And by the way, I've been getting questions, text messages, email wanting to know when are we meeting. Brothers and sisters, the African Village has been closed for in-person fellowship since February of 2020 due to COVID. Okay. And I don't know when we'll be reopening for that. We've been doing it virtually, as you see here. Okay. Oh man, but keep us in your prayers, okay? Reason why we do accept mail because our office manager, Sister Valerie Henson, goes down and gets the mail and deposits any donations that comes in. Okay, so if you want to mail in your donation, please feel free to do that. Also, family, don't forget to join us in the Black Achievement Fund. Okay, the Black Achievement Fund. Come on and be a part of it. Okay, it's an awesome organization. Africans loving Africans, supporting Africans, being there for other Africans. We're doing some great things, got some great things in mind. In fact, at 2:00, our president will be going live on the website, baf.solutions. Okay, he does a thing every Sunday at 2:00. All right, so just go to the website there, okay, and listen to our president, Brother Arki Hodges. Okay, share the vision of the Black Achievement Fund with you, brother who I've come to know as a brother from another mother. Okay, one who has devoted his life to the advancement and empowerment of African people all over the world. Okay, the Most High has given him this vision for our economic empowerment, and it's off the chain. So come on and be a part of the Black Achievement Fund. If you're not a member, come on. It's only $9 a month. Okay. And if you join, let them know that I told you about it. Okay. Because I'm going to get a notification that you joined. Okay. So come on and join us at the Black Achievement Fund, baf.solutions. That's the website, baf.solutions, not .org, .com, .net, none of that. Okay. baf.solutions. Okay. Go there and listen to Brother Arki's presentation at 2:00 today and see how you can be a part of this great movement. Okay? Yeah. Family, I have enjoyed being with you guys today. We've been blessed tremendously by the ministry of my brother and my friend, Pastor Edwin, the Chef Wright, there in Charleston, South Carolina. Okay? Again, help me say thank you to my brother today, all right, with your donations. Until next week, you guys out there stay strong. And hey, we're going to go ahead and do You're Easy to Love and get out of here. Oh, my goodness, man. I tell you, I've been blessed today. I've been blessed. I've been blessed. I've been blessed. The African in me loves the African in you. When we come together, ain't nothing we can't do. You know why? Because you're easy to love. Yeah. I'm Mer. All of you guys. Mer is the Kemetic term for the English word love. Okay? Lift your voice with me, family, wherever you are, and say it like you mean it. Everybody say, the African in me, love the African in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy, yeah. You're easy, easy to love. Yes, you're easy to love. Let's do the truth that's in me. Love the truth that's in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy, yeah. You're easy, easy to love. You're so easy to love. Justice. Everybody say it like you mean it. Come on. The justice is in me. Love the justice in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy, yeah. You're easy. You're easy to love. You're easy to love. Righteousness. Everybody say it like you mean it. The righteousness in me loves the righteousness in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy, yeah. You're easy. You're easy to love. Let's close out with the African in me loves the African in you. All right? Come on, everybody. Like you mean it. Come on. The African in me loves the African in you. When we come together, ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. You're easy. You're easy to love. Everybody have a wonderful week. Okay? Oh, man, I hope the energy from today carries you throughout this week. Oh, my goodness. Until next week, we come together again. You guys stay safe, stay strong, okay? Do my art and live. See you next time.